Hi. I'm at one of my favorite places on the planet. As you can hear, there is no sound. Just silence here. Some of the artifacts that are behind me relate to a time maybe 5,000-6,000 years ago when there was a primal connection to the earth, but the elements in general, all the components that allow life to develop and attain a harmonious balance with everything else in existence. So this is the spot I like to be with myself. This is a space where it's possible to delve into the deeper, more quiet, more silent reaches of the being. I made this little odyssey. Actually, I took the time away from phenomenal existence, as it were, to reestablish a direct conscious connection to exactly why it is that I came here. And of course, why I came here is like the reason anyone else has come here. It is to help the universe itself evolve into its next conscious form, whatever that may be. However, as a human being, this particular life form, how that may assist or augment or, in effect, co-create with the universe that possibility of transforming into the next and the next and the next, possibly to realize its ultimate realization, as it were, as a universe, as a unified whole, without any parts, without any separation, without any distinction or division, yet everything is perfectly unique and absolutely without another. From the tiniest dust mote to the most cosmic, large-scale anything. And I suppose as a human, it's up to us to transcend all scales of distinction, all scales of perception of one thing over another or between another. When all such scales are transcended and all senses of identity are gone beyond, that's what a human can do consciously. Of course, living as a human being, it's been discovered that there's been a slowdown or even a halt, maybe even a digression from that primal, universal aim of perfect realization and completion, not only of the individual but of the universe, co-emergently. That means it's a tantric relationship with the universe as one's most intimate partner. And of course, one of the reasons I was motivated to come here was the fact that through sexual tantra, which I was shown in terms of the full potential of it for transformation, through sexual tantra, this entire species and all species could, through that, accelerate their development and their inner and outer evolution to the point that they would no longer need to be limited to that particular form of consciousness and also that particular form in terms of structure. In other words, related to this particular body type and so forth, and the kind of consciousness that is connected to it. However, it seems that there's been what I said before, a slowdown or even a diversion from the original intention of transforming every aspect of oneself consciously, and instead there's been a total immersion, a dreamlike immersion into just the physical concerns and constraints and compulsions of just the physical form, the physical reality, the body and all its needs and everything else related to it. For some reason, though, the sexual tantric aspect, although vaguely known about and at times carried out by certain portions of the population at certain times, that has been mostly lost in its true essential form, in its true essential potential possibilities. So here, at one of my favorite places on this planet, I'm kind of relating what it is I'm here for, what I'm working for. Of course, I work for every being, all beings, everywhere, and every when, no matter what. There's no choice in that matter, not for me. It's why I came here, and that's why I will continue to be here until that work is completed, no matter how long, no matter what the circumstances that arise. These paintings behind me have been here many thousands of years, and they have been implacable, impartial presences to the passage of whatever is enacted before them and around them all over this planet. But for a certainty, that is what I will be here for until it's completed, until everything is realizing its innate perfection. So, to everyone, to the avatar, this is, how can I put it, my mission statement, but it's not a mission really. It's an integral part of existence, and I am just functioning as one of those integral parts, but it's not a part. It's not a broken off piece. It's a whole. So, I am a whole within wholeness, and that is all that everyone is. And we all work toward that which we know to be the ultimate truth in each and every one of us, however we may arrive at it, however many twists and turns the journey takes, or with the path or the way, whatever one wishes to call it. The ultimateness is always present here. Always. In every moment, in every situation, no matter how exalted or the other way, how corrupt. It doesn't matter. That reality, the reality of what is, when everything else passes away, when all else fails, when all else finally succeeds, it doesn't matter. That's not what ultimateless reality is. It's perfect just as it is, no matter how it ends or begins or doesn't end or finish. So completion may be a misleading word. But speaking in the language of duality and the dualistic terms that are associated with it, it's very difficult to speak of that which is not distinct, not separate, even beyond unity, as it were. One could only use the words nothing or void or all sorts of other terms that have been come up with, emptiness, but it doesn't really mean the kind of valuation that is usually put on it. It means that right now, ultimately, is exactly where you are ultimately. No matter where you think you are, no matter where the path appears to be, this is the ultimate reality, no matter how it's being experienced or not experienced, whether it's existing or not existing. So, just thought I'd mention this. Yeah. Because it's worth mentioning to anyone or no one. If no one's watching this, no one's listening to this, that's all right too. Right now I'm working on the foundation, or actually not the foundation, but the factors, the components, the exact specifics of what creates the chronic defense mechanism. The chronic defense mechanism keeps in place the false identity that is called by many the ego, but in any context, it is what mechanically continues to have one repeat the same recurring pattern of existence over and over, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, without one even knowing that that's happening. It is the factor that makes the world what it is today. If you look at the news, it's not news, it's old. It's very old. It's been going on a long time, and it's been a loop that's been playing over and over with just superficial changes in the costuming and the characterization, but it's always the same because it leads to the same cycle of unconscious death, recurrence, rebirth, without ever knowing that one has been dead, reborn, or lived. And it's the same life, the same one, over and over and over and over and over and over. So, the chronic defense mechanism, the chronic, likes to have control, so that's how it controls things. Right at the moment of death, it loops one into something that it can control right from birth. And what is most controllable is the life that one has already lived. So that's what the chronic goes for. It's a function of our own consciousness. It's a function of our own being. It's not our enemy. We've created it. So it's up to each and every one of us to delve into how we allowed that to happen, no matter what it takes, because that's what it's going to take to transform our existence here. When we actually realize the perfection of our existence here, this moment, every moment, there will be no need to transform the chronic. The chronic will of itself just fall away. So, just working on that. And I hope you're working on whatever you need to be working on also. Thank you.